Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of DLBTV with your host, DLB. Today we're going to be talking about next-gen consoles. Yes, that's like that's what I'm excited for right now. They're coming soon. They're coming this year, and I cannot wait. So to continue to build up anticipation and to continue our conversation on next-gen consoles, my question for you guys is, what do you guys think the hard drive specs are going to be with the next gen consoles? How many consoles do you think we're going to see? Well, that's the kind of conversations we're going to be having today. Personally, for me, I believe that we will see two SKUs again. Unfortunately, I hate that. I don't know about you guys, but I really hate the multi SKUs. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't. The gaming consoles have almost turned into PCs in a sense, based on some of the things that you have to do when buying a console. First and foremost, them being multiple consoles, the hard drive, being able to swap them in and out, things of that nature. It's not too crazy, but I really hate the multi-specs. But with that being said, I think there's going to be two SKUs. I think there'll be a low-end SKU and then a high-end SKU. But I actually think that there actually may be a third SKU this time around. And the SKUs that I think we'll see is, the first SKU will be anywhere between $250 and higher. The high-end SKU will be $500, roughly around about. And then I think they may come out with even a third SKU, which will be considered like the premium SKU, which will offer a terabyte. Hard drive, that is. Now, how much is all this going to cost? So if you think if there's multiple SKUs, I'm assuming we may see a $299, $350, and $399 console. And then again, I could be wrong. It could be even higher. It could show off $350, $399, and then $450. So Microsoft, they've been offering like a tiered, like a pay-as-you-go type of console SKU towards the end of this generation that they've been doing since about mid last year. And they really haven't said how that's been going for them, but I could actually see that working in their favor with these next generation of consoles. One of the things that, if you check my videos in the past, that I wasn't real fond of is the way Microsoft kind of sold their console in pieces. Like, you could buy the console that came with a 20 gig hard drive, but then you'd have to buy the Wi-Fi adapter. You would have to buy the HD DVD drive to play the HD DVD movies at the time, and just a slew of other things that you had to buy, the hard drive and things of that nature. But the fact of them doing that, people were able to get a console at a cheaper price and then kind of build on it, which I think in the sensitive market that we were in at that time, now that I look back on it, I think that I think that actually did work in their favor compared to Sony, where they offered you everything: Blu-ray, a HDMI port, which wasn't in the launch Xbox 360. You got a nice size hard drive, and just a slew of other things. So Sony gave you the all-in-one future-proof console, whereas Microsoft kind of gave you a base console, and then you as a consumer, based on your income, could kind of build on that console as you go. And in the long run, I think that kind of helped them a little bit, because when they did relaunch the console with the more slimmer version, it then had all that built in. It had a larger size hard drive, it had the HDMI, it had the built-in Wi-Fi. So they were kind of able to sell people on that easier. And again, they were able to sell their console at a cheaper cost when it first launched. With these generation of consoles, though, all that stuff, the Blu-ray format, is not as expensive as it once was. But at the same time, and we're hearing them supposed to be using basically over-the-counter parts on their consoles. Now, that would make you think that these consoles should be cheaper based on the parts that they're using, because of the fact that they're over-the-counter. But again, these two companies are in the business of making money. Now, people call Microsoft greedy, but if you look at Sony, you see they're kind of following that suit with the PS Vita. Now, I don't know about you guys with the Vita. I felt the Vita should have came in, it should have launched with some kind of internal memory, at least 4 gigs, something, but you have no internal memory. So not only do you have to buy the console at $250, depending on the SKU that you get actually, then you have to buy an additional memory card so you can save your games. So as you kind of see that Sony's kind of saw what worked for Microsoft, and I'm thinking that they're going to do the same exact thing for the consoles. So I definitely think you're going to see, you know, a console with a built-in hard drive, but I think they're going to have proprietary hard drives for their console. I think Microsoft's going to continue to do the same thing because that's additional revenue for both companies. So not only are they using over-the-counter parts, which is going to help their consoles to be cheap initially, it's going to help developers be able to develop for these consoles, but again, both these consoles, both these manufacturers are in the business of making money, and I definitely think Sony's going to capitalize on that this generation. I just hope that it's just not too expensive for us gamers out there. So you can look at this any way you flip it. You can see them. That's why I'm kind of on the fence with the hard drive size, because I can see them kind of gimping the console, meaning, you know, launching with a low-end hard drive to make you buy their proprietary hard drive. And this is both Microsoft and Sony I'm talking about, because you see Microsoft, they have a 4 gig Xbox 360 right now. So who's to say that Microsoft this time around won't launch with a 100 gig Xbox? And who knows if Sony may do the same? So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I definitely think they're both going proprietary. Well, Microsoft again. I think Sony will now jump into that as well. I don't think we'll be able to choose our own personal hard drives how we were this generation. Again, I'm basing this off of what I'm seeing from the Vita. I am a Vita owner. So the things that I'm seeing from the Vita, if you go back to the PSP, and remember when the PSP launched, the PSP launch was very similar to the launch that we received from Sony. The PSP had the X and B. You had, at that time, any memory stick duo would work in your PSP. With the PlayStation, launched with the X and B, any laptop hard drive would work inside your PlayStation. Well, if history repeats itself, we have the Vita on the market, comes with no hard drive. I don't know. I could actually see Sony actually launching without a hard drive so they can get a cheaper console on the market and then saying, hey, you know, go buy a hard drive. Again, I can see Microsoft doing the same because I think they want to help gamers. Everybody's wallet is different. What I got in my wallet is different to what you got in your wallet. So if you're a college student, you know, maybe getting that console with no hard drive and then buying a proprietary one, maybe that'll work in your favor. I don't know. I don't think it would, but I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens. But that's my take on it. I'm curious what you guys think. What do you guys think these consoles, what size are the hard drives that they're going to launch with? Do you think it'll be less than 100? More than 100? What's the max? You think they'll launch with a max of 2 gigs? I don't see that happening. But or not 2 gigs, 2 terabytes. I don't see that happening. The max, I believe, is a terabyte. And even then, I think that's pretty extreme. So I think it's going to be more between the 250, 500 gigs area. But what you guys take on that, I'm curious what you guys think. I mean, we have external memory. Will USB hard drives be able to work on these consoles? There's a lot of different variables this time around. And I definitely think that this is going to be a good run for everybody. Whether you're an Xbox 360 fan, an Xbox fan, or whether you're a fan of Sony and the PlayStation. It's going to be a great time to be a gamer because they're both going to launch at the same time, so they're going to have to compete for our wallets. So talk to me, people. What do you guys think the hard drive sizes will be? What console do you guys plan on getting? And what else are you guys looking forward to? Hit me up on Twitter. Again, DLB23. Check out the website, DLB-Network.com. Check out the podcast, all that other stuff. And as always, definitely make sure you subscribe to the video. Until the next one, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.